All right, so wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. It's been making headlines,
Yeah,
causing a stir,
it has
a
been.
bit of panic even.
Yeah, a little bit of panic for sure.
And, the big news is this company that manages the Bitcoin reserves for WBTC is partnering with Justin Sun.
Right, and
This
Sun
sounds
is
a controversial figure.
a controversial figure in crypto, shall we say?
So before we get into all the drama, let's do a quick recap of what WBTC is all about for anyone who may not be familiar.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea.
So imagine you have Bitcoin, but you want to use it in Ethereum-based applications,
Mm-hmm.
DeFi, all that good stuff.
Right, exactly.
That's where WBTC comes in.
It's like the bridge between the two.
It's a bridge, exactly.
The two biggest crypto ecosystems.
Unlocking all sorts of possibilities for Bitcoin holders.
Yeah, and it's been incredibly successful too.
Oh, yeah.
Like WBTC has a massive market share.
Huge.
Almost like a monopoly in the Bitcoin on Ethereum space.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Its economics don't seem that great. Like, it's not generating huge profits.
Yeah, really?
Which makes you wonder if it's not a gold mine, why all the fuss over its management.
That's a great question, and it gets even more interesting.
Yeah.
When you think about the fact that Coinbase and Galaxy Digital,
Big players.
huge players, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want to acquire BitGo, the company behind WBTC.
Right.
So that suggests that they might not see a clear path to profitability in the current model.
So we've got this dominant, but potentially not so profitable system.
Yeah.
And now this controversial figure is stepping into the picture. No wonder people are worried.
Right. It's a recipe for
Yeah.
disaster in some people's minds.
So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack the implications of this shift,
Yes,
explore the concerns around WBTC,
absolutely.
and look at a decentralized alternative called tBTC.
A good place to start, I think, would be the drama unfolding on MakerDAO's forums.
MakerDAO, the bombshell.
Yeah, the MakerDAO bond.
So MakerDAO, if you're not familiar, is like the central bank of DeFi.
Yeah, a good way to think about it.
They issue DAI, one of the most popular stablecoins,
Mm-hmm.
and their decisions can have ripple effects throughout the entire ecosystem.
Definitely systemically important.
And someone very influential within the MakerDAO community
Right.
has proposed freezing new WBTC loans
Yeah.
and potentially even offboarding it completely.
It's a big deal.
Whoa.
Deal.
So it seems like a lot of the concern stems from Justin Sun's past involvement with stablecoin Tether,
Right.
where there were allegations of a lack of transparency and issues with redemptions.
I think it's important for us to point out, though,
Yeah.
these are allegations, and we're not taking sides here.
Exactly.
Our goal is to present the information objectively and help you understand the different perspectives at play.
Okay, so what are the chances that MakerDAO actually follows through with this, and what would the fallout be? That's what we'll explore next. WBTC's dominance, it might not be as unshakable as we thought,
Yeah.
this potential MakerDAO situation.
Right.
And even big institutions are hesitant.
And the data kind of shows that, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look at WBTC's supply,
Okay.
it's been pretty stagnant over the past year. It's like it hit a ceiling and just stopped growing.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, especially when you consider, like, the overall growth of DeFi.
Right, DeFi is exploding.
Exactly.
But WBTC isn't.
yeah.
Doesn't that flatlining growth and the lack of interest from big players
Yeah.
make you wonder if the business model just isn't that appealing?
It definitely raises questions.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to how stablecoin issuers make money.
Okay, so how do stablecoin issuers make money?
Well, they earn interest on the reserves backing their stablecoins,
Ah, I see.
whereas WBTC relies mainly on mint and redemption fees.
Okay,
Much smaller revenue stream.
much smaller.
Yeah.
So maybe WBTC isn't the golden goose everyone thought it was.
Maybe not.
Which brings us to our contender,
Right.
the decentralized alternative,
Yes.
tBTC.
tBTC.
So what's interesting about tBTC?
Well, I think what's really interesting is that it addresses...
The very concerns people are raising about WBTC,
Okay.
and particularly the centralization aspect.
Hmm.
So instead of relying on a single company like BitGo,
Right.
tBTC uses a network of independent entities called signers.
Signers.
Yeah, to manage the Bitcoin backing the tBTC tokens.
So it's like a group of friends safeguarding a treasure chest.
That's a great analogy.
No single friend can open it alone.
Right.
They need to work together.
That's exactly how the signer network works.
Cool.
It's all about distributing responsibility and minimizing trust in any single entity.
And this must appeal to the Bitcoin maximalist crowd.
This is music to their ears.
The ones who
Yeah.
believe in Bitcoin's core principles of decentralization and trustlessness.
Absolutely. They love this approach.
So tBTC is like the DeFi solution for even the most hardcore Bitcoin purists.
Yeah, you could say that.
But if it's so great, why isn't it more popular?
It's a good question, and it really comes down to the classic chicken and egg problem.
Oh, yeah, that old chestnut. You need to get listed on major DeFi platforms and gain traction
Okay.
to get liquidity.
Right.
But to get that liquidity, you need to be listed on those platforms
Right.
so people can easily trade and use tBTC.
It's a tough cycle to break out of.
It is.
So tBTC has the decentralization, the appeal to Bitcoin purists, but it's stuck in this catch-22.
Stuck?
What can they do?
Well, one idea that's being explored is finding ways to generate yield.
Yield.
Yeah, on the Bitcoin backing tBTC.
Oh, interesting.
Similar to how stablecoin issuers profit from their reserves.
Okay, so instead of just sitting there, that Bitcoin could be put to work,
Exactly.
earning interest-generating revenue for the tBTC system.
That's the idea.
I mean, are there challenges with that?
Of course, there are always challenges.
Right.
You need to ensure that any yield-generating strategy doesn't compromise the security
Right.
or the peg of the tBTC token.
Got it.
Meaning it needs to always be redeemable for 1 Bitcoin.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a lot of financial engineering.
Yeah, it's complex.
Complex.
But that's what makes this space so dynamic and exciting.
Right.
We're seeing innovation happening at an incredible pace.
I mean, it really is like the Wild West of finance, right?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's the frontier.
So we've got tBTC trying to break free from this chicken and egg dilemma,
Right.
potentially by adopting some of the strategies used by stablecoin issuers.
Potentially.
It sounds like the future of Bitcoin on Ethereum is wide open.
It is wide open.
And what makes it even more interesting is that this isn't just about bringing Bitcoin to Ethereum.
No.
It's about bridging different blockchain ecosystems together.
It's a much bigger vision.
So we're talking about a future where you can seamlessly move your Bitcoin
Yeah.
between Ethereum, other blockchains,
Right.
even Bitcoin's own layer 2 solutions.
All without relying on centralized exchanges.
It's like breaking down the walls
Exactly.
between these isolated blockchain kingdoms
It is.
and creating this vast interconnected landscape of possibilities.
I love that analogy.
This is where I get really excited because
Yeah.
we're not just talking about financial innovation for the sake of innovation.
No.
This has the potential to impact people's lives
Absolutely.
in a tangible way.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where you can use your wrapped Bitcoin to access financial services,
Wow.
regardless of your location or background.
That's powerful.
A world where cross-border payments are instant and affordable.
That would be huge.
A world where you have more control over your own assets and data.
It's like a democratization of finance,
It is.
powered by blockchain technology,
Uh-huh.
driven by the desire for a more equitable and inclusive system.
That's what a lot of people are hoping for.
And that's really cool.
It is.
But I mean, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
There are still challenges ahead.
Always challenges.
Scalability.
Scalability is a big one.
We need to make sure these solutions can handle a massive influx of users and transactions.
As adoption grows. Yeah.
The regulators, they're definitely watching.
Yeah, they are definitely watching.
And their decisions could have a huge impact on how this all plays out
Huge impact.
and user experience.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Interacting with wrapped Bitcoin and DeFi protocols can be pretty intimidating for the average person.
Yeah. You need a PhD in computer science right now to
Right?
figure it out.
If we want to see mass adoption, we need to make these tools more user-friendly,
For sure.
more accessible.
Absolutely.
I mean, despite all these challenges, though,
Yeah.
it does feel like there's a lot of momentum.
There is a ton of momentum.
Incredible innovation,
Yeah.
brilliant minds working tirelessly to solve these problems and build a more decentralized and inclusive future.
And they're making a lot of progress, too.
It sounds like there's a real sense of purpose driving this movement.
There is. It's not just about making money.
It's about building a better world.
That's exactly right.
That's a word.
It's what makes the space so compelling.
So for our listeners who are just starting to explore this world of wrapped Bitcoin and decentralized finance,
Yeah.
what's the key takeaway?
The key takeaway.
What should they be thinking about?
Stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to experiment.
That's good advice.
The crypto world is still in its early stages,
Uh-huh.
and there are no experts,
Oh, I like that.
only explorers.
Okay.
So embrace the uncertainty, do your own research,
Yeah.
find your own path.
It's like we're all pioneers setting sail for uncharted territory.
Exactly.
We don't know exactly what we'll find,
Nope.
but the journey itself is full of possibilities and potential discoveries.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And what makes this even more interesting is that this isn't just about bringing Bitcoin to Ethereum.
It's not.
It's about bridging different blockchain ecosystems together.
It's a much bigger vision.
So we're talking about a future where you could seamlessly move your Bitcoin
Yeah.
between Ethereum, other
That's
blockchains,
Right.
even Bitcoin's own layer 2 solutions.
All without relying on centralized exchanges.
So you're saying with tBTC or something like that?
Yeah, with solutions like tBTC.
I could hold my Bitcoin in my Bitcoin wallet
Yes.
and use it on Ethereum
That's the idea.
without ever having to go through a centralized exchange.
Right.
And in the future, maybe I could use it on other blockchains as well.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It's a powerful vision.
Wow. So tBTC and projects like it
Yeah.
are aiming to make our Bitcoin wallets kind of like our
passport to the blockchain world.
passport to the blockchain world. I love that.
Yeah.
So this is even bigger than just Bitcoin on Ethereum.
It
This
is.
is like true blockchain interoperability.
That's what they're aiming for.
So the stakes are pretty high here.
The stakes are high.
The future of Bitcoin on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Maybe even the future of blockchain interoperability as a whole.
It could be a major turning point.
So what does all this mean for our listeners?
Well, I think the most important thing is to just stay informed.
Stay informed.
Yeah, keep learning about these developments because
Okay.
things are changing so quickly.
Yeah, it is moving fast.
It's really hard to predict what's going to happen next.
So what should people be paying attention to?
Well, definitely keep an eye on what's happening with WBTC,
Okay.
especially with the whole Maker DAO situation.
The drama
The
continues.
drama continues.
And tBTC and other decentralized alternatives.
Yeah. See how they're progressing.
How they're overcoming those challenges we talked about.
Right, exactly.
And the regulatory landscape is huge.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Governments are starting to take notice.
Yeah, they're starting to realize
Their decisions could have a major impact.
major impact.
So it's like a three-pronged thing.
Yeah.
We've got the WBTC situation,
Yeah.
the decentralized alternatives,
Yep.
and the regulators.
There's regulators always lurking.
And all interconnected.
They're playing a role.
So as this story unfolds,
Yeah.
it'll be fascinating to see how these three forces interact and shape the future of Bitcoin on Ethereum.
Definitely a lot to watch.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the wild and wonderful world of wrapped Bitcoin.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay, so we've covered WBTC, tBTC, this whole bringing Bitcoin to Ethereum thing.
Yeah.
But what does it all really mean, like in the grand scheme of things?
That's the question, isn't it?
Why should anyone outside of crypto even care?
We often get caught up in the technical details,
Yeah.
the market fluctuations,
Right.
but it's important to step back and
Yeah.
consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
I think the answer is understanding innovation.
Mm-hmm.
When a new technology emerges,
Huh.
there's this frenzy of excitement. Everyone's trying to figure it out, how to make money from it.
It's like the dot-com bubble.
Exactly.
Lots of excitement, lots of
Yeah.
speculation, but then things settle down. And
Yeah.
you're left with the real value.
The real world applications.
Right.
And I think with wrapped Bitcoin, we're starting to see that.
Okay.
Like, think about it. tBTC, these solutions are giving Bitcoin holders access to DeFi,
Yeah.
lending, borrowing, yield generation.
Things you couldn't do before,
Right.
like regular Bitcoin.
It's opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
It sounds like it goes even further than that.
It does.
You've mentioned cross-border payments,
Yeah.
tokenized assets, decentralized applications.
Yeah.
It seems like wrapped Bitcoin is like this fundamental building block
It is.
for a new wave of innovation.
That's what's so exciting about it.
And it aligns with decentralization and financial inclusion.
Absolutely.
Wrapped Bitcoin could break down barriers
Yeah.
that have prevented people from participating in the global economy.
That's the hope.
Like imagine sending money across borders
Yeah.
instantly and affordably.
Regardless of where you are.
That's the kind of impact we're talking about.
That's the goal.
So it's not just about making money.
Yeah.
It's about empowering individuals,
Yeah.
creating a more equitable financial system.
A more inclusive system.
And as wrapped Bitcoin solutions mature,
Mm-hmm.
gain wider adoption,
Yeah.
I bet we'll see even more innovative use cases.
We're already seeing some really interesting things.
Like what?
Like tokenized real estate,
Whoa.
supply chain management, even voting systems.
Voting with Bitcoin.
It sounds crazy,
That sounds like sci-fi.
but it highlights the potential
Yeah.
of this technology.
So we've gone from geeking out about technical details
Right.
to a future where wrapped Bitcoin helps shape a more democratic and transparent society.
It's been quite a journey.
But let's be realistic.
Okay.
There are still challenges.
There are always challenges.
Like what?
Scalability is a big one.
Okay.
We need to make sure these solutions can handle mass adoption.
Right. When everyone starts using this stuff,
Exactly.
that needs to be able to handle it.
And then there are the regulatory hurdles.
Ah, yes, the regulators.
Governments are still trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to approach this whole crypto thing.
And let's not forget user experience.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Right now, using wrapped Bitcoin and DeFi,
It's not easy,
it's pretty intimidating.
especially for the average person.
Yeah, if we want mass adoption,
Mm-hmm.
we need to make these tools easier to use,
More user-friendly,
more accessible.
for sure.
But despite these challenges,
Yeah.
you seem optimistic.
I am optimistic.
Why is that?
Because we're seeing so much innovation, brilliant minds working on these problems,
Yeah.
trying to build a better future.
So it's not just about the tech.
No.
It's about the values.
Exactly.
Transparency, fairness, empowerment.
Those are the values that drive this space.
So for our listeners who are just starting to explore this world
Yeah.
of wrapped Bitcoin, DeFi, all this stuff, what's the key takeaway?
Stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to experiment.
I like that.
The crypto world is still young.
Yeah.
There are no experts, only explorers.
So embrace the uncertainty. Do your own research.
Yeah.
Find your own path. It's like we're all pioneers
Exactly.
setting sail for uncharted territory.
We don't know what we'll find.
But the journey is full of possibility.
Yeah, that's what makes it so exciting.
So maybe someday we'll look back on these early days of wrapped Bitcoin
Yeah.
and realize we were part of something truly revolutionary.
It's definitely possible.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the wild and wonderful world of wrapped Bitcoin.
It's been a pleasure.